Hey guys, this is Leah with Scott Leroy Marketing, and in today's tip video I'm going to show you a DocuSign tip that's a little more advanced, and that will be to apply templates to PDFs. So this is a really exciting feature. The gist of it is when you pull in a PDF to your DocuSign account, let's say that the client or the clients on the other side have signed the offer and the agent sent you a PDF version of that offer signed by, let's say, the buyers in this case, and you need to go ahead and send that PDF off to your seller clients to have that signed. As you probably know, if you are sending a PDF for signatures in DocuSign, you do have to manually add the signature fields and initial fields to that PDF in order for your clients to be able to electronically sign that. So again, specifically for PDFs, you do have to manually add initial and signature fields for your clients to sign. I'm going to show you a way that you can set up. It's called document matching in DocuSign. It's a feature on the e-signature side that will work with rooms. That will allow you to add in an example of that PDF, and then every time that you use, let's say, that offer, DocuSign will automatically detect the first 25 words in each page to help suggest templates for you to actually apply to that PDF. So let's take a look at how that works. Again, this is a feature that is on the e-signature side. So if you're in your DocuSign Rooms account, you'll just need to click on your headshot on the very top right of realestate.docusign.com. I'm in realestate.docusign.com, accessing the KW Rooms side of DocuSign. Then I'll click on my headshot on the very top right, or it may be your initials in a circle, and we're actually going to switch to e-signature. So switch to e-signature. So the e-signature side of DocuSign does have a couple more features than the room side does. The DocuSign room side is built specifically for real estate, but whereas we're going to use this feature in the e-signature side to help make your life easier when sending PDFs off on DocuSign Rooms. So again, we went to realestate.docusign.com to log in, and then we went ahead and clicked on our headshot or initials and clicked switch to e-signature, okay, from that drop down. From there, we'll click on templates on the top white toolbar. And we'll click on new on the left-hand side to go ahead and create template. So on the e-signature side of DocuSign, I went ahead and clicked on templates on the top white toolbar, then new on the top left, and we're going to create template. All right, so making sure it started you at the top, so scroll up if you need to. But the first thing we'll need to do is actually add a document to this template. So what we're going to do is upload a copy of that PDF. So if you want to, download a copy of that PDF to your computer, copy of that form, and then we'll go ahead and click on upload, and I do already have an offer on my computer. So I'll navigate to that and double click to pull that in. And of course, feel free to pause the video anytime so you can go ahead and navigate to locate that PDF, download it to your computer, and follow along. So the first step is we are adding a PDF version of the form. And then we'll come down to add recipients. And again, this is just a template that we are creating. So we just need to add in really the general roles. So here for role, okay, in this case, I'm going to set this up like the buyers have signed the offer and sent that over, and now I am sending that off for the seller to sign. So I'll go ahead and name this seller 1, and the role field needs to sign. But I'll go ahead and leave the name and email fields blank, since again, that will depend on the actual transaction. We're just setting up a general template at this time. So now we'll click on add recipient to go ahead and add, I'm going to go ahead and add seller 2. So just to the role field, we're adding seller 1 and seller 2. And you could continue doing this, if in this template, you always want your transaction coordinator to receive a copy, or you want to go ahead and, have the agent on the other side on the template as well. So you can continue adding in recipients, or of course, if you're doing buyer 1 and buyer 2, that would work as well. Scrolling down, you can also add a default email message that would default every time that you sent this template or used it. Okay, but I'll go ahead and leave that blank and come up to the next option. This is where things really get exciting. So next on the top right, and that will take you over to the PDF version of the form. So like I mentioned, if you are working with a PDF in DocuSign, you would always need to manually add the initial and signature fields for your client to be able to sign that. So that's what we're setting up in this PDF, so that we only have to set that up once, and then we can go ahead and apply that to every PDF version of this form that comes into your future transactions. So first thing I'm going to do, first, I'd like you to note on the very top left that we do have a drop-down field here that notes the color difference between your clients. So depending on which client you're selecting on the top left, it will change the color of these fields. So first thing I'm going to do, of course, your form may look different than mine. That's totally fine. The concept will be the same. But the first thing we need to do is lay initial boxes on the field, or on the form. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and grab the initial box by clicking on it on the left-hand side, and then click to drop it wherever you'd like that on your form. So now I need to do that for the other client as well. So I'm going to change the drop down the top left to my other client. And again, it does change all the colors of these fields. So I can select the initial box to click and drop that as well. So depending on your form, this is a 13-page form. So I need to go ahead and drop those initial boxes on the bottom of every page here. So kind of a quick workaround in case you'd like to use that. Of course, you can keep adding initial boxes on the left-hand side to each page individually if you only have a couple. Or if you want to go ahead and copy the set of fields to go ahead and paste to every page, you can do that by clicking and holding your mouse and kind of drawing this square around the fields that you want to copy. You'll notice that it will highlight both fields, and I'm actually going to press Control-C on my keyboard, or that would be Command-C for Mac user. So Control-C or Command-C after you click to hold to highlight the both. And then I'm going to come down to the section on the page where I need to go ahead and drop those, and I kind of click your mouse on wherever you want it to be, those fields to drop. And then you can do Control-V on your keyboard or Command-V to paste that. And I can click to drag and pull those around. So now I'm going to continue going down on the bottom of the next page. I'll go ahead. I want to click where I want that to drop first, and then I'll do Command-V to drop that, or Control-V if you're on a PC or a Mac. And I'm going to go to the bottom of each and every page that I need those initial boxes on and go ahead and paste those in. It's lovely. You can do that kind of quick here with this little tip. So I'm just clicking Command-V or Control-V. And again, it's very easy to kind of move those around if needed because those are grouped together. So click Command-V, almost there. And of course, feel free to pause or the video so you can do this on your selected form as well. All right, so now that I've dropped all the initial boxes, I need to go ahead and add the signature fields. So I'll do that by grabbing the signature fields instead on the left-hand side to go ahead and line that up on the form. Now, signature fields, there is something additional to note. You do want to manually add the date signed field. Oops, I messed that up. Well, this will be good for you to see. So the date signed field on the left-hand side, you do need to grab that as well. The date will automatically generate. However, you do need to add the field for that to happen. So in this case, you accidentally laid the fields in incorrect spots, no worries. You can simply click to drag and move that around. So I can move this to the appropriate spots. And again, just make sure that the colors of those fields do match up with the client that is signing. And of course, you can continue doing this process with any text boxes if you want to add text boxes to the template, or radio dots or check boxes. You'll note there are a few more fields on the left-hand side that you could incorporate into your template. So now that I have that template created, I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Close on the very top right. You can choose Recipient Preview as well on the top, just so you can see how it would look from each of your clients signing. And then we'll click Save and Close on the top right. All right, that'll prompt me to give my template a name. So for this one, I'm going to name OTP for offer to purchase and template matching. Okay, so whatever you would like the template to be named, you'll only see this really, and you'll click Save and Close. Okay, so here that is. That is eligible for matching, I note right here, right? So you can see the ones that are eligible for matching. So this one is, so matching is not turned on, but it's eligible, and we'll go ahead and turn that on. You'll see under if you have other templates, if they're included in matching or excluded from matching. Okay, so we do need to turn the matching feature on by coming over to the drop down on the far right and click Include in Matching. So drop down the arrow on the far right of that template name and go ahead and click Include in Matching. It'll give you that verification and it says Included in Matching. All right, great. So we have that created. Now let's go ahead and apply that to a DocuSign room that we have so you guys can see that in practice. So to get back to my DocuSign room, I am going to click on my headshot or initials in a circle again on the top right. I'm going to switch to rooms. So headshot or initials on the top right, and then switch to rooms. Okay, so depending on if you're in rooms or e-signature side, the two options will vary, or will switch back and forth on that drop down, just a heads up. And now I'll go ahead and go into a room that I have, into the Documents tab. Okay, and I have a PDF version of that offer in the Documents tab of my room. So again, in this scenario, this example, let's say the agent on the other side doesn't use DocuSign. They emailed you a copy of the offer signed by their clients, let's say the buyers, and now you need to go ahead and send off that PDF for signatures by your clients, by your sellers. All right, so the first thing I can do is add that form to my DocuSign room. So assuming that client emailed it to you, of course, save it to your computer first. And then you can come up to Add on the top right to add the form from your computer. So I'm in the Documents tab of my DocuSign room specifically. I click Add on the top right and select from computer. And depending on where you have that saved on your computer, you can go ahead and navigate there and double click to pull that in. All right, so once you've added in that form to your room, okay, and here that is, and I can always see the date field, which helps to know which form is what here. So what I need to do now is pull that into an envelope to apply the template. So we're on the home stretch here, guys. So to do that, I'll go ahead and, if you hover over the form in your Documents section of your DocuSign room, hover your mouse over the form and you'll see this little dot appear on the top left, which you can click to check. And once you check an actual form like this, it will give you this bulk actions menu on the very top of your room. Okay, so this little menu here will not display unless you've checked an actual form by hovering your mouse and actually clicking on it. Once you do that, let's go ahead and click on the Create Envelope option. So it's a center icon that looks like a pen, Create Envelope. And that will pull that PDF into your envelope. where we can go ahead and click the three dots next to the document name and click Apply Template. So three dots to the right of the document name, and we'll click Apply Template. All right, it'll be browsing your templates first, and these are templates created on the e-signature side of DocuSign specifically. I can see the date that these were created, which certainly helps out. So here's the one I created today. So I can go ahead and click on that template name on the left-hand side and click Add Selected. I see right here one template applied. Okay, it looks like it will need to go ahead and add in those clients to go ahead and sign. So since I have applied a template, this is pretty cool. Since I have applied a template, it will give you the option to add pre-tagged roles right here under Add Recipients, which is telling you that your clients will be able to automatically sign without you adding further initial boxes. So these are the two clients, right, that we put on the template, Seller 1 and Seller 2. So that's giving us that option here, so we can go ahead and select that from the drop-downs and click Add Selected. So recipients have been added in, and I can click on Next on the top right. And like magic, I can go ahead and scroll to the bottom of any page of this PDF and hear all those fields that we laid in on the template, including the signature fields and the date signed, automatically added, saving me tons of time. So now I don't have to click to manually add the initial boxes to every single form that I need to be signed every time it's a PDF. So this is a really cool feature. You don't need to do anything further at this point. It's totally up to you. I mean, you can edit that additionally on the left-hand side by adding text boxes and so forth. However, once you're ready, I would always suggest clicking Recipient Preview to view that by both clients from their perspective. And then click Send on the top right. And that will send that off to your clients to be electronically signed. Okay, that does take you back to the envelope section of your DocuSign room that will show you anytime that one form or group of forms were sent off. Right, so if it's a form that you need to sign, it will give you the option to sign that straight from here. Okay, or it'll tell you that it's waiting for others if you just have two clients that need to sign that. Just a heads up, you will not see the changes made to that form in the Documents tab of your room until the form comes back signed. So just a heads up, like if you were to come back to the Documents tab of your room and go to click on that initial form that we were just working with, you would not see the edits that we added, right? Those initial boxes and signature fields, you won't see that until all parties have signed and it has come back to your DocuSign room, and that'll give you a signed icon like this, a screen signed icon, showing that that is the edited document with the edits you made in the envelope and the signatures. All right, guys, if you have any questions on that, please do not hesitate to reach out to support@scottleroymarketing.com. I'd be more than happy to help you through any roadblocks that you come through. All right, guys, I hope this helped, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.